Hi, welcome to the Crypto Republic. Before we dive in, if you're serious about staying ahead in this once-in-a-lifetime financial shift, make sure you like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Republic. Have you ever heard one of those moments where a number sticks in your brain and won't let go? For me, that number is 2,400. Why? Because holding just 2,400 XRP might be the difference between being another face in the crowd or stepping into a future of real financial freedom. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but stick with me. This isn't just some moonboy fantasy. This is math, history, and perspective colliding in a way that could rewrite your entire outlook on crypto investing. Picture this. I'm up late scrolling through on-chain data like some people scroll Instagram, and I stumble onto the XRP distribution stats, the so-called rich list, and what I find nearly knocks me out of my chair. You don't need hundreds of thousands of XRP to be in the elite club. You don't even need tens of thousands. No, just 2,400 XRP puts you among the top 10% of all holders worldwide. Now, to put that in perspective, that's like realizing you don't need a yacht to be considered wealthy in this ecosystem. You just need a decent car in the driveway. Let me give you some perspective here. Imagine New York in the late 1800s. Owning a few acres on the outskirts back then, it looked ordinary, maybe even boring. Today, that land would be worth billions. That's what 2,400 XRP feels like today. Small, almost unimpressive, until history catches up. And here's the kicker. Fewer than 700,000 wallets globally hold that much XRP. That's fewer people than the population of Seattle. In a world of 8 billion, you're rarer than front row tickets to a Beatles reunion. If the Beatles came back from the dead, that is. Now, here where things get really spicy. Because if 2,400 XRP gets you into the top 10%, what about climbing higher? Around 8,300 XRP puts you in the top 5%. 25,000 XRP, top 2%. And if you're holding 50,000 XRP, congrats, you're in the top 1%. Think of it like climbing social classes. 2,400 XRP is like becoming upper middle class. 50,000 XRP, that's like your aristocracy. And 350,000 XRP, well, that's Rockefeller levels, whale of whales, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers sound large, but compared to the fortunes in traditional finance, they're shockingly attainable. Now let's dream a little. If XRP ever hits 100, here's the math. 10,000 XRP would be $1 million. 1,400 XRP, nearly $250,000. That's a house paid in cash. That's student debt gone, financial chains shattered. If you're wondering, could XRP ever really hit $100? Remember, Bitcoin once traded for less than a pizza. Ethereum was once cheaper than a dinner at Chipotle. History has a way of making today's crazies sound tomorrow's obvious. But here's what excites me more than just numbers. XRP isn't just another coin. It's a utility-driven asset with ripples building real partnerships with banks, central banks, and institutions. We're talking about technology designed for cross-border payments, liquidity management, and tokenized assets. Think of it like the railroads of the 1800s. At first, only a handful of investors saw the vision. But when the world realized trains were the backbone of commerce, investors became generationally wealthy. XRP could be playing a similar role for digital finance. Now, before we all start sipping champagne in our heads, a reality check. Crypto is volatile. Nothing is guaranteed. You could lose money. You could lose patience. And if you invest more than you can afford, you could absolutely lose sleep. This isn't financial advice. It's perspective. The point isn't to gamble. The point is to recognize that the door is still open and relatively few have walked through it. Here's the bottom line. Only 2,400 XRP is enough to put you in a club smaller than a mid-sized city. And if adoption takes off, that club could become the financial elite of tomorrow. So maybe one day, years from now, we'll look back at this number like people look back at buying Bitcoin under $100. And maybe you'll be at the dinner table saying, yeah, I got in early. Because sometimes the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just a number. And for XRP, that number might just be 2,400. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button, ring that bell, leave a comment with your thoughts, turn on notifications, and most importantly, subscribe to the Crypto Republic, bringing you the truth about XRP, global banking moves, and the wealth transfer already unfolding. Don't just watch history happen. Stay informed, stay ahead, stay in the Republic.